Hey everyone and welcome to a GameCast Impressions video. Today I'll be taking a look at Supergiant's new title, Hades, now in early access, available exclusively through the new Epic Games Store. Hades, much like Supergiant's other games, takes an already established game genre and adds its own Supergiant little twist. For Bastion and Transistor, it was their approach to storytelling and narration, and how that would directly affect gameplay. Pyre focused on player choice both in dialogue choices and during a riot. Hades has a fairly straightforward narrative right out of the gate, with the main character trying to escape the hellscape that is his home. With each new life, the story opens up a little more, with various NPCs sharing their thoughts on your progress and the world at large. Using a roguelike formula, each journey through the Underworld is different, with new level structures, enemy layouts, and traps thrown every which way. It functions like a fairly standard hack and slash with a few basic skills, such as a general attack button, dodge button, and a weapon skill. Chaining everything together just right will clear out rooms with relative ease. However, you are quite fragile, so staying out of harm's way is a necessity. Much like Dark Souls, death will happen at some point as part of the learning experience. Each death brings a new dungeon and starts you back at the beginning. However, you still retain earned experience and a certain level of loot that can be spent on permanent upgrades and weapons. You may have lost progress, but each new journey into the Underworld brings with it interesting new boons from the gods. The Greek pantheon of gods wish for your success in separating from your father and will aid you in one way or another by temporarily granting you access to their powers, which in turn changes how your basic moves function. You might add Aphrodite's blessing to your dash, allowing it to damage enemies as well as put them in a weakened state, allowing you to deal additional damage. You might wish for chain lightning from Zeus. It's always a bit of a gamble, as you never know which god will appear to help you or what dangers you will face later on. While the areas and enemies are randomized, it doesn't take long to notice a few reoccurring room setups. As this is early access, it's one of those issues that just comes with the territory. Fortunately, the fast pace of the action and progression doesn't leave much room for being nitpicky about finding a similar room layout. There are 2 boss fights in the title so far, and they function quite a bit like Diablo-style bosses, which can be seen as good and bad. These bosses take time to learn their patterns and defeat. Due to your own flimsy nature, it can be a pain trying to learn the pattern and win in a game that resets your progress on every death. The lack of a single-use healing item is a risky choice, and during boss encounters seems like the wrong choice. Although that might just be because I'm not that great at the game just yet. Kind of like the Souls series and how the first time you start you never feel like you have enough healing items. The world Supergiant have built is only a framework so far, but it's already very interesting, with a beautiful asymmetric 3D style like most of their other titles. The environments look great, although you can kind of see the algorithm behind them with how most things are designed like blocks. The main hubs and characters look great, and the 2D character images look amazing. The tone of the game is interesting too, with Hades himself taking on the role of an exhausted father, pretty much convinced his son is going through a useless rebellious stage of his life. He tries to discourage you on every escape attempt, but never actually gets up to stop you. At least not yet, as I imagine he'll have something to do as a final boss of the game when it's actually complete. It reminds me a lot of Supergiant's other games, where we might have dark subject matter or characters, but the presentation of the game makes it so much more colourful and vibrant than its narrative may lead on. It might be a little rough around the edges, but it is early access and the developer's pedigree pretty much guarantees high quality when the title is actually finished. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on, and we'll also see just how far the new Epic Games Store can go. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and please let us know what you thought of Hades, or any of Supergiant's other games in the comments below. You can also find me over at Arisen Culture, where I throw a bunch of ideas at a wall until something sticks. Until next time, bye!
Have a nice death. The key for back home.